Stampers, Deb Valder here. I'm with Teaspoon of Fun, and that is your paper crafting store. Make sure you hop on over to www.teaspoonoffun.com and you can shop, you can look at our blogs, get a lot of inspiration. It's our little shop called teaspoonoffun.com. So today I'm going to show you how to do the new little technique called Sunken image, and it is a gorgeous technique. It's super simple. This one I actually used a heart to cut out the image. This one right here, I used a fancy little circle, okay? The one that I have right here, I used a hexagon. So what I'm telling you is you can use any little die, and it's so pretty. It's hard to see on camera, but everything on the outside is raised up, and here's the sunken piece right here. So you pick what part of your little image you want to have sunk in, and that's the part that you're going to just cut out. So let me just show you just a few little things with, well, let me show you the cards that I've done so far. So this one right here was my original one, and I do have a blog post on that one. So if you go to my blog, you'll see today's post, but then there'll be a link to this one. It's very, very pretty. So on the outside of it, I used the double little saying. We call them our duos, and it has a saying for the outside, just a note to say, and then on the inside, I'm thinking of you. So that is this little guy right here. And let me see, I have this one right here. It's a belated birthday card, and I used one of, like I said, one of our circle dies right here. And I also used our belated wishes, birthday wishes. And this is the die that I used right here. This one is called Stitch Circles. And each one of the circles has this beautiful different stitching in each circle. So I actually used this one right here. You can use whichever size you want. I like to kind of use one of the medium ones, and it works out really good. So that is that card right there. And then I used, for this one right here, I used one of our Posh script dies. And instead of using the background, I just use the top layer. So you can have and use these two different ways. You can use them as a set where they go one on top of the other, or you can just use them to separate like I did here. Super easy, super fun, and super fast. All right. So let's start at the beginning. I'm going to take and I'm going to stamp my image. I'm going to use our ink that is hybrid, and I'm just going to ink this little guy up, and I like to stamp it a couple times just to get a very good image. Grab my, okay, that just gets it very, very even, and even though that looks like it's good, I'm just going to do it one more time. Okay, perfect. Alrighty, so we now have our image. I'm going to stick this on the bottom because I haven't cleaned it yet. Alrighty, put the top back onto my ink pad, and I'm just going to show you how I did one of the flowers in the stems. I used my Copic markers, and I always start with my lighter one first. So this one's going to be my R24. All the details will be on my blog post. And what I do is I just saturate the beginning part of this. I like to leave some white in there just for some contrast, some striking contrast. Alrighty. There. Super easy and fast. I'm going to go with my darker color next. And this is R39. And what I'm doing is just the parts where I want it to be a little bit darker. If I get it on the next one, it's okay, because like I said, I'm going to color all of them like I did here. But there we go. There. Alrighty, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to blend these two together. I'm just kind of blending a little bit here, blending a little bit there. See how they just kind of melt together? That's why I love Copics. I'm just so hooked on Copics. I love watercoloring too. Now to give it even more contrast, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take our new B29, new color, and I'm just going to add a little bit of contrast here. Right? Okay, and then take my R39 again and blend those together. Just like this. Alrighty. You see how they just melt? Let me grab my scrap paper there, okay. And now I'm just going to take my lighter color one more time, which is the R24, my favorite red, for the bottom layer, and just blend those together. Isn't that so pretty? And then when it dries, it's going to be even more striking. Okay. Now to add a little bit more contrast to it, I took my and then lighten it up one more time, going backwards with our colors. There we go. What I did was I took my white gel pen and just added a couple of little contrasts to it, you know, wherever. See? And I did all the rest of the flowers that way. I did my leaves that way. All of the markers are going to be on my blog post, so if you want to know what colors I use, you can do that. Let me stick these out of the way here, and that's how I got this done. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to actually do our sunken image technique. All right, so what I did was I just took a piece of cardstock, and this is 3 1/4 by 5. This is my card base, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I just wanted them to be just a little bit bigger or littler than the other one. This one right here, what I did was I used a fancy background, and my embossing folder that I used was my brand new Gracious Leaves, and this is what it looks like. It's absolutely gorgeous. Isn't that pretty? And that's what I used for the background, and I used it on the background of this right here. So it makes it stand out so pretty. All right, so now we have these. What we're going to do is we're going to pick a die, and I'm just going to take one that's around here. I think I'll do another one of the hexagons. All right, so I'm going to take my hexagons, and I'm going to take probably this one right here. It just depends on what size you have for an image. So you wouldn't want to use something too big, because then you're going to get part of the leaves, and then decide which way you want it to go. All right. So for this one, I'm going to make it do the this right here. Okay. So I'm going to have the point on the top instead of the square on the, no, let's do the square on the top, the flat on the top. All right. I'm going to go cut this out. I'll be right back. So here we have our hexagon cut out. All right. You can use squares, you can use circles, you can use fancy, you know, whatever you want, whatever floats your boat on the day that you're doing it. It just looks so pretty. All right, so now we have all that done. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take the back of our, and this is how easy this is, all right? We're going to take the back of this and we are going to grab our foam tape. And for this one, I'm going to use the white foam tape. I do have it in white and we have it in black in the Teaspoon of Fun shop. And we're going to just take and layer down some of our foam tape. Alrighty, here we go. And I'm going to run it up the side here. Alrighty, we just don't want it to get, we don't want it to sag in. Alrighty, we're going to go here. And what I'm going to do is use my strips for this part and this part. Alrighty, here we go. And here's another one right here. Because it was a little bit wide for my wide ones, I'm going to use just the strips. That's why it's good to have one of each in your stamp room. Just when I say one of each, I mean one of each of the different types of adhesives, because you just never know when you're going to need them. All right, so we're just going to take these off, and this is how fast and easy this is. I have so many thank you cards to write. I just need to get them done, and these are fast cards, but they're so pretty. Alrighty, now we're just going to center this here. And you see how that's raised right around and through here? Now this is the sunken image technique. Now what we're going to do is take our adhesive. I'm just going to take my Easy Grand, okay, and I'm going to add that to the back of this. And this is what's going to be sunken in. Alrighty. What you want to do is you want to make sure that you get it nice and even. I guess normally I would use my deluxe adhesive here because it's more forgiving and you can kind of slide it around. But I grabbed the Easy Grand and it works. Alrighty. Can you see how that is sunken in? It's so, so pretty. It's hard to see on camera, but it's just beautiful. All right. So there's the actual image. Now what I'm going to do is to just grab a scrap piece of paper here, because I am going to put my Just Because on there. So I'm going to take 2 layers of white, because I have a white background, and I want to take 2 layers of white. I'm going to take my deluxe adhesive, which is probably what I should have used for the background of this, and that's what I normally do, but I grabbed my Easy Grand. It worked good. Like I said, all the adhesives that we have work interchangeably. And now what I'm doing is just adding, I'm not even squeezing this glue. I'm just dotting it up and down, just hitting each letter. I like to do 3 layers because it just gives it so much more depth. Okay, put your glue top back on. Very important after each use. Okay, even though we're going to use it again in just a few minutes. Okay. Let me see. Here we go. Can you see that? Alrighty, and all I'm doing is just lining up each piece. It's so easy. I love to use my retractable craft pick. There we go. Let's just make sure I got them all nice and even. Alrighty. There we go. Perfect. Alrighty. Now we're going to do the same thing to this one. Just doing each letter. Dot, dot, dot. Not even squeezing. You don't want a lot. And if you do get a lot, let me just show you. If you're not sure if it's going to ooze out, or because we're putting a black piece over the top of it now, I'm going to grab my tweezers here and just twist it over, pat it down. Okay, that's taking some of the excess glue off. All right, let it lay back down again and add my Just Because in black. And that's the color that's going to actually show up on the outside of the card, on the top of the card. Alrighty, so let's just, that's what's so nice about this this glue, is that you can take and you can just kind of manipulate it around a little bit. I'm taking some of it oozed out a little bit. I'm just going to take it, and this retractable pick is awesome. Alright, I just pushed it out just a little bit more so I can get into these spots right here. All right, now we have our Just Because. Everything is all lined up and beautiful. Okay, now we're going to take the back end of this, add our glue to that, and we are almost done with this card. The sunken image technique. Make sure you share this video with your friends. Just taking these and just dotting it, dotting it, dotting it. Okay, put the top back on so it doesn't clog. Turn it over. There we go. Now we are going to take and add our Just Because. Oh, look at how pretty that is. Oh my goodness, it's so pretty. Just Because. Alrighty, let's grab our ta-da! Absolutely love the card. Let me bring in the other ones that I did. This is the one I just colored for you. Do you see how pretty that is? And I'm going to take and grab the Belated Birthday. So this one has a hexagon. I don't know if you can tell inside the camera, but it's just so pretty. This one has that beautiful, beautiful, beautiful pattern around the outside of it. Let's see, what other ones do we have? This was my original one. Okay, just a note to say, with a beautiful heart, I'm thinking of you. Okay, and these are cards that you can have in your little in your card stash, and you know, just use them when you need them. And I know I have another one around here somewhere, but I just can't find it right now. So there it is. I knew I had another one. Here it is, right here. It's a thank you card. I told you I have a lot of thank you cards to write. So here's our little pile of beautiful cards. This is the one I did on camera today, Just Because. I hope you enjoyed our post for today. You take care, have a great day, and don't forget to stop by www.teaspoonofun.com. Share this video with your friends, and make sure you give us a thumbs up. When you do that, we will keep coming back for you. Okay? You take care, have a great day, and thank you again.